have to see it for yourself.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Spare Change. Here on the channel, we do a lot of home theater equipment reviews, as well as 4K Blu-ray reviews for the home theater and movie enthusiasts. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Today in for a review, we have 1999's The Matrix on 4K Blu-ray. I won't get into any plot details because I know you've already seen it. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on the video and audio quality. Now for some tech specs. The movie was shot on 35mm. It's got a 4K DI. It's rated R. Runtime is 136 minutes. Aspect ratio is 239:1. So yes, there are black bars when played back on a television. Whew. Okay, so I've heard and I've read some of the reviews saying this disc is reference quality. And I gotta say, since this movie was shot on film, you will have that soft film look through most of the runtime. Now there are some truly great looking moments where the image is crisp and very sharp. Neo lying on the table, Morpheus's red chair in Chapter 9 revealed tons of textures like wrinkles in the leather along with dust and dirt. Facial close-ups at times displayed finer intricacies like Morpheus's pores in great definition. Detail in all the loose debris flying around the room in Chapter 29 looked excellent, as well as the cement texturing on the lobby walls. HDR usage is done tastefully here without any blown highlights, which many catalog titles fall victim to. Shadow detail is retained faithfully in the darker scenes, which is most of the movie. Loose wires and computer monitors are still highly visible throughout the ship's interior scenes, which are very dark. Spectral highlights from flashlights and gunshots during the lobby shootout in Chapter 29 could get blindingly bright at times. HDR implementation in Chapter 30 now has brought out actual clouds in the sky on the rooftop scene, so highlight detail is well preserved. Now, one huge noticeable difference if you're coming from the older DVD or Blu-ray is the change in color tone of the movie. Gone is the green tint. Now we have a more reserved, greenish bluish hue while still maintaining color accuracy like skin tones. Some of you may prefer the greener tone, but the change in color here makes everything more natural.
And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Audio gets a new Dolby Atmos mix, and if this was one of your go-to DVDs back in the day, prepare for it to be one of your go-tos once again. The standout scene is obviously the lobby shootout in Chapter 29. Bullets fly through the soundstage and hit their target in every part of the listening space. Debris flying through the air and landing on the ground is rendered in great detail, with the use of overhead speakers filling in the rest of the soundscape. The music is loud and room-filling, with bass notes hitting hard from every gunshot. The overhead channels were always filled with ambiance or musical extension, so they were used actively. Bass response was demo-worthy here, with ultra-low extension that would shake your room without making a sound, so be sure your subs are ready to go. Dialogue was firmly planted in the center channel, so there were no issues there. So for audio, I'm gonna go with a 9.5. This mix was great back in the day, and it's even better here, besting even more recent blockbusters like, I don't know, Black Panther, Thor. For video, I'm gonna go with an 8. If you're coming from the old DVD or Blu-ray, then I could see this being referenced compared to those, as it is a huge increase in quality. Now, if you love that cinematic film look to your movies, this would fit the bill, as it's clearly shot on film. There is a layer of film grain throughout, very noticeable during the all-white shots, but it's finely rendered and I never found it distracting. But I know some of the grain haters out there may disagree. There's also that soft film look to the image, and I know a lot of people like a 4K crisp picture. You'll get that at times here, but for the most part, 4K sharpness just isn't there. If you want to check out a reference quality catalog title from 1994, I'd give Leon the Professional a look. That movie for its age looks like it was shot yesterday. Now in my home, I own a 65-inch A1E OLED along with a 75-inch 900F, and the movie does look amazing on those smaller sizes, and that's what I use for these reviews. Now when you blow the image up to 126 inches, it's easy to find the flaws in what you're watching. And if you pass the 4K projector test with sharpness and clarity and color, I usually give it a reference grade. The Matrix 4K Blu-ray just falls short. So this is the best this movie's ever looked, and definitely worth an upgrade if you own the prior versions. And that new Atmos mix is demo worthy. If you want to grab this disc, I'll leave a link in the description down below. It helps out the channel by using those links, which helps us bring you more content like this. Now if you found the video useful, give it a thumbs up. Let us know down below in the comments what you thought about The Matrix in 4K. Be sure to follow us on social media, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys again in the next video.